According to Andrew Aarons of USA Today, there is only one place in the world where you can wake up early for a week and be chased by angry one-ton animals through narrow streets that might trample you or gore you without a second glance. That one place is Pamplona, Spain. The celebration of the San Fernan Festival is a combination of a livestock fair and exhibition, the San Fernan celebrations, and the running of the bulls. After watching a few videos and doing some in-depth research of the running of the bulls, I realized just how dangerous it could be and why we would do such a crazy thing. Today, I would like to focus on the what and whys we run against the bull, why they run against the bulls, the culture characteristics of this event, and the role men and women play in this event. So let's begin by examining what kind of animal the runners are facing and why they would put their lives on the line against such angry and dangerous animals. What they are running against, typically each bull that is enlisted into this event weighs from 1,500 pounds to 2,000 pounds. They have razor sharp horns and hoofs, and typically they have the horns and hoofs taped to prevent the sharp edges from doing major damage to a person's body. And one last thing about the bulls is they can turn on a dime, which is a scary thought because they can cut the corners short and trample a huge group of people, and that could raise the injuries amount by a big amount because they're just trampling a huge crowd of people instead of just one person. Why they would run this event? It's according to Hannah Lewinhall, Policy Mike. It's an easy way to get the bulls through the ring, and what I mean by that is the bulls have a fight at the end of each day. That fight, and the two bulls that are the fastest to the ring have a fight to their death, and then the next day the bull that wins wears a collar to signify that it's like a champion of the previous day. And obviously it's a tourist attraction to Pamplona, Spain, because it brings in the range of 50 to 75,000 people a year, and typically there is 15 to 18,000 runners throughout the 7-day event. While we may think that this event is just a crazy thing to do to gain attention, there are some culture characteristics that go along with this event. They wear white shirt and pants with a red handkerchief, and the red handkerchief signifies a anger and momentum building thing for the bulls, because the bulls despise red objects, so that gives the bulls a purpose and a reason for why they're running down the streets. It's a religious celebration, and before the 7-day event starts, they sing a song to embrace the celebration, and then at the end of the San Fernan Festival events, they sing that same song to wish everyone a good year until everyone arrives back at this event next year. When we think of an event like this, you tend to think that it is all men who do this event, but the numbers of the past couple of years show that there have been a decent amount of women that have listed to participate. In 1974 was the first year for women, and that's very key because the 2 previous years they had women that would just run out of the crowd and would end up getting hurt, and then it would cause major concerns because they had people getting hurt that weren't enlisted in the running. In 2004, there were 21 injuries that occurred to women, according to Sue Brickney from Pamplona Posse. And that's key because in that year there were only 35 injuries total throughout the 7 days. So that is almost 4/6 of the injuries that occurred had happened to women, which caused a major concern because it brought up the questioning of whether or not women were actually fit enough to do this job, fit enough to do this event compared to men. And 15 men have died from injuries occurred during this event. And when I say 15 deaths, those are all the deaths that have been recorded, and so obviously they have all the deaths that have been recorded have been by men, which is big for the fact that I said above with the 21 injuries to women, because it shows that women may get injured but they don't get killed, so that kind of like neglects the injury fact, I guess. Now that we have covered all the basics about the running of the bulls, let's finish this up. Typically, when we think of bulls, we think of rodeos and farm animals, but as we have examined today, that is not always the case. The running of the bulls is the only place where we'll get to see people dress up in a uniform and try to outrun 1,500-pound animals that are breathing right down their neck. And when I mean breathing right down their neck, it's like they're right on their, like, right behind them. It's not like they're 100 feet behind them. It's like 10 feet. Finally, I will leave you with the words of a famous author who observed this firsthand, Ernest Hemingway. You don't own it, and you never will, but you can face your fears, and you're either pushed aside, knocked down, gored, or worse. That is the beauty of Pamplona. It gives you the chance to experience something that perhaps you've never experienced before, and the chance to finally be creative with your life.